Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Fortitude Fix. I hope you're well. My name is DaShanna, and in today's video, I am going to be doing a pregnancy Q&A. Let's back up here and just talk a little bit about what brought us to this moment. I am a mom of one, and I am also pregnant. So I have a baby girl named Nova who is 15, almost 16 months old, and I'm 5 months pregnant with baby number 2. So when I announced, you all were so sweet in the comments. If you haven't seen that video, I'm gonna go ahead and link it here. But you all said such sweet things, and I told you all to leave your questions for me either down below in that video or over on my Instagram. So a lot of you submitted questions, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into those. Thank you all so much for watching that video, showing so much love and asking your questions. And if you are new here, I know there's a lot of new subscribers to my channel, so welcome. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you be a part of the fam. If you are interested in all things motherhood, lifestyle, I would love to have you join us. All right. Without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and get into the questions. The first question that I got was, how do you feel being pregnant again and the gap between each child? So I am feeling really good emotionally about this pregnancy. It was a pregnancy that we wanted. I think the quickness of it kind of took us by surprise. So of course we are in love, we are excited. I am a little nervous about the age difference, but I'm also really happy and excited since they'll be so close. By the time this baby gets here, Nova will be 20 months old, so she'll be 4 months shy of 2, and that means I'm gonna have 2 under 2 for a few months. So we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna make a bunch of 2 under 2 content and let you know how it is, but I feel really confident. I want them to be close. I was raised as an only child. I did have an older brother who passed away though, unfortunately, when I was in my early teens, and I have a younger sister. We have the same dad, and we're each 11 years apart. So my brother's 11 years older than me. I'm 11 years older than my little sister. So in my household, I was the only child. So I'm actually really excited for them to be this close, and I can't wait to see what their bond is like. This pregnancy has been a little bit different. I haven't been sick at all, which is great. I was barely sick with Nova, so there's that. But then also this pregnancy, I've also been so much more tired. And so we can say that's because of everything I had going on in my life. You can kind of go back and watch a couple of my past videos if you want to get caught up. It could be because of what's happening in life. It could be the fact that I already have a toddler that I'm chasing after. So but overall, I'm feeling really good. I'm really excited. I am a lot larger this time around, I feel like. I don't know if I was this big. And I started to show a lot earlier this pregnancy, but I'm feeling good and I'm super excited about their age difference. Fibroids and baby number 2. Did you have surgery? If no, how is that going? Thank you so much for asking. I did not have surgery, also known as like a myomectomy. I did not go through with any of that. One, because the bottom right fibroid is out of the way, so it's not going to hinder me with having another vaginal delivery, and that's what we're going for. So that one actually shrunk after my last pregnancy. And then the larger one that's on the top left is actually outside of my uterus, and so it's not affecting baby's growth or development or anything like that. Because they're not causing any issues, they never caused any issues before pregnancy. I was able to conceive naturally. There was no issues during my first pregnancy. There's no issues during this pregnancy. So in my case, removing them when they're not causing an issue could actually cause more of a problem. So my care team is recommending that we kind of leave them where they're at until they become a little bit of a problem. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but I have not had any surgery. Was this pregnancy a surprise, or were you trying for baby number 2? Congratulations. Thank you so much. This, as I mentioned briefly a little bit ago, we were ready for baby number 2 and we were actively trying. However, we did not know that it was going to happen that fast. We basically tried to conceive, and we did. Yep, in that first cycle. So it happened very quickly for us. But yes, this pregnancy was planned. It just took us a little bit by surprise at how quickly it all happened. Okay, so the next question, it says, no question, just sending you some love during this month. Be gentle with yourself, D. Oh, thank you so much. This is from a friend of mine. Thank you so much if you are watching. I appreciate you. I love you. And thank you for that encouraging message. I miss you so much. It's from another friend of mine. Hey girl, hey. Any difference in cravings from baby number 1? Not really. I feel like the first pregnancy I had cravings for things that were like salty and briny, like olives and like Sour Patch Kids and soury things, but I had a lot of aversions to things. I hated chicken after a while. I couldn't see it, couldn't smell it, couldn't touch it, and I had a lot of like crazy heartburn. This pregnancy, I like the briny stuff, but I think I'm more so into sweets. I have a really large sweet tooth. It's a thing. So I haven't had too many cravings, but when there's something that I want or something that I think about, I want to have it like right then and there. So, but it's not a specific like item. The cravings are a little bit different this time. We'll see if they change or if they stay the same. Okay, another question I received is, how are you? Thank you so much for asking. I am hanging in there. This pregnancy has been strange because we're still kind of in that pandemic, you know, situation, but we're just not like under full lockdown like we were when I was pregnant with Nova. So I'm a little bit better. I'm able to go outside and like take a walk and feel comfortable. I was terrified the first time around. I think that emotionally, I have honestly been struggling. Some days are good, some days are not so good. So it's a mix between everything that's been going on in my life, work, mommyhood, being a wife, trying to run a household, you know, really still grieving over the passing of my mom, trying to, you know, be the bridge between family members and checking in and answering when people call or text me, or at some point getting back to them, sending out all the thank you cards for things that folks have sent during this period of grief, as well as, you know, trying to center myself and focus on this pregnancy, my connection with this baby. So I've definitely, it's definitely been an emotional roller coaster this entire pregnancy, this entire past year in 2021. I'm excited for things to come this year. It comes and goes, you know. There's definitely times where I wake up and I say in my brain, literally doing anything is too much. Like, that's how I feel sometimes. But the odd thing is, like, the world doesn't stop. Like, although this is the most devastating loss I've ever experienced, and it hurts and it makes me sad to the point where I can barely breathe, it's like that's my reality. But you know, there's still deadlines that need to be met at work. There's still housework that needs to be done. There's still a toddler who needs mommy love. There's still bills that need to be paid, and like, the world just keeps going. And it's also really hard to be in that reality of like, this is what's going on. My world is literally turned upside down and shaken to its core, but to everyone else it's like a regular Tuesday, do you know? So it gets tough sometimes, but I am working to really increase my self-care, focus on the really things that matter, and making sure that I continue to do my mom proud. Would you say this time around is different or the same, like cravings or morning sickness, etc., etc.? So similar to the one I answered maybe like 2 questions ago. Honestly, I feel like it's different. It's different because with Nova, I did get a little bit of morning sickness and I got very, very nauseous, but I don't think I ever vomited. With this pregnancy, I really haven't dealt with any nausea, even in the very beginning. The closest thing that I had dealt with was when I drank water. I would wake up in the morning and I'm thirsty. I'm one of those people who like wake up like just dry. And I'm like, oh, water. So I drink water really, really fast. And then I felt like, maybe I shouldn't have drank it that fast. But that's literally it. I haven't vomited, haven't really been nauseous or sick, no morning sickness. My cravings, as I mentioned, are pretty chill. It's like, ooh, Chick-fil-A sounds good. Great, gotta have Chick-fil-A. Or In-N-Out or whatever it is, but it's not like I have to have this one brand of thing or I'm super into chocolate. It's not really like that this go round. Sometimes honestly I forget, if it wasn't for this bump I'd be like, I don't know if I'm pregnant. But I definitely do feel the baby move now, so I know that I'm pregnant, but I used to forget a lot that I was pregnant. Okay, here's another question. It says, were you scared of having another baby with fibroids? Very, very good question. The answer is yes, but the answer is also no. I was scared of everything my first pregnancy, and because of the sickle cell, because of the fibroids when they told me, because it was my first pregnancy, I was worried about things like genetically, I was worried about things in life, going outside, breathing air. Like, I was terrified of literally everything. I feel like this pregnancy, I'm a little bit more, that's so weird to say, I'm not calm, but my body kind of knows what to do. My emotions kind of know what to do. It's not 1000% new to me, if that makes sense, but there's always that little bit of like fear or like what if, and I made a video about that. My last upload is like all the kind of fears that I'm feeling. And, you know, I'm worried that something may happen to me or something may happen to the baby, but my faith is stronger than any fear that I have. And I just lean on that, especially now with everything that I've been going through. My faith has really been the thing to carry me through. And honestly, the fibroids hadn't caused any issues before. Like I said, no issues with conception, no issues with the pregnancy that I had before. And so there's nothing that tells me that I should be worried or fearful. So I don't really entertain that thought a ton. I know that everyone's situation is different, and there's a lot of folks who've had fibroids who it interferes with their pregnancy, interferes with their ability to conceive, etc., etc. But that's not the case for me, and I'm really trying to stay focused on my journey. And also to give you all hope, there's a lot of you who watch my channel who want to be pregnant, who are pregnant, who have partners that are pregnant or have been in the past. And so I know that sharing my story, sometimes it feels like, oh, why am I even talking about this? But you all leave me the best comments and it makes so much sense. This is why I share this, because there may not be as many positive stories out there, and I will continue sharing my story, even the negatives, as y'all have seen, as well as the positives, to make sure that, you know, I'm giving you all hope too. And I think that's the good that's coming out of this, and that too is bigger than my fears. So thank you all so much. Now I'm gonna go to the questions that are under my actual video. Those were all from Instagram. Let's go back to the questions from the video itself. Were you and the hubby looking to have another one this soon? The answer is yes, we were trying, and it just happened a lot faster. How have you been managing your fibroids? Very good question. I meet with my regular OB for my regular prenatal appointments. I also meet with another department where I do consistent ultrasounds. So I get more ultrasounds, I think, than what maybe folks without fibroids get. Because they want to check the size and the locations of those fibroids. So the thing that I'm doing to manage them is really just keeping an eye on them. So myself and my care team, letting them know if there's anything that I feel, any sharpness, any pain, which I haven't had. And then I'm also just taking note every time I go there, like, how big is it measuring? It's growing literally because the uterus is growing, not because the fibroid itself is really growing. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense, but they tend to shrink after the uterus goes back down. So we're just keeping an eye on them, and I'm keeping note of how I feel. What size were they before this conception? That's a really great question. So I want to say one was about 2 or 3 centimeters. It had shrunk down. That's the one that was on the bottom right. And then the top left one, I want to say, was about 8 centimeters or 7 or 8. And that went down from 18. It was 18 centimeters when I gave birth to Nova in 2020. And then later in 2020, it had already shrunk, and so the last time it was about 8 centimeters or so. So it did kind of, you know, go down substantially. Did the fibroid not scare you from getting pregnant again? I did answer this in the comments, and I said basically the answer is yes and no, which I already explained. Thank you for all the love. Oh my gosh. So that was all the questions that I got. Thank you all so much for coming over to my Instagram and asking those questions or commenting on that video. Thank you all so much for just being here and being who you are. I wish all of you the absolute best in your life and in your journey. I hope that you'll stick around and subscribe to this channel. There's gonna be much more of Nova. We need to catch up with her, right? We're gonna catch up with this pregnancy. I'm gonna do some monthly pregnancy updates with you to catch you up. And then there's some other stuff coming down the pike this year in 2022, and I am so excited to bring you along for the journey. So don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. That is it for this video. I will see you all in my next upload, and as always, remember to fill your cup. Bye.